Alright, folks, let's do let's head out on the old Lee Highway, shall we? So this is a really fun tune, and it's one of the Fiddler's kind of showpiece tunes. You know, in that category, there's Orange Blossom, of course, where you get to do a bunch of, you know, wild things and nobody scolds you for them. And then Lee Highway's another one where you have this wide open amount of space that you can just fill up with wild licks. And so we're just going to do the fiddly tune part of it, and then, you know, just to build that foundation there. And then maybe add in a few fun little licks too. So here we go. Lee Highway Blues. The first part is actually, the whole tune really. It's not like a complicated tune itself, and it's a pretty tune actually. Bluesy in the way that blues is pretty. But let's just jump into it and quit talking about it and just play the thing, shall we? All right, here we go. All right, there's our metronome. 3, 4. Let's get right into this tune here. So it's D. So that's D, E, F sharp, E, D. And notice I'm droning on a lot of these, playing it, droning on the other strings. Say that up front here. So that's D, E, F sharp, D, E, D, E, D, E, F sharp, E, F sharp, E, D, B, A, B, D. Okay? So, and then that runs up to E, F sharp. So, and then it's F sharp, E, D, B, A, G, A, B, D. So all together it would sound like this. Okay, so you can just repeat that if you want, but you can also add in variations onto the next part, to end the phrase the next time, something like this. You could go. So that's the same lick so far. And then you could go F sharp, A, D, E, F sharp, D. So that would sound like this. Okay? And then that part, then you do that again. through that similar little melody 4 times. And then you come up to the B section, and it's like this. It's all about bluesy slides. This is Lee Highway Blues, you know. So we're going to go F sharp, slide off that F sharp to E to D, and then do it again. And that's all about the timing of it, right? So da 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 da. You know. Dun, dun. Okay, then you do the same lick again. And then, on D, you were sliding off the 3rd note in your scale. You're sliding on the 3 down to the D. Well, then you do the same thing, but you move it up to G. So you slide off the 3rd note in your G scale, G, A, B. So you slide that one here. So that one is just a slide back from a B back to a G, B, A, G. And then you could reverse it. You could go B, A, G, and then slide. Okay? So it could sound, that would sound like this. It would go. And then play a F sharp down to a D. And then you've got to jump up to a high D after that. You jump. You don't really have any other choice in this tune. That's just the way it goes. It goes there. And so, to practice that, you'll be playing this out of 1st position. And just moving your hand up and down until you can land on it, and somehow your hands and muscles just eventually develop a memory for where you're supposed to go. So, and now from this point is where the fun begins for the fiddler, because it's the point where everybody just starts holding D and waits for you to do whatever you want to do, okay? And you'll hear a lot of different fiddlers do a lot of different cool things in this spot, okay? But you're going to have the rhythm. Once you've done that, it's a... Okay? Now, guitar, bass, everybody just... And then just listening. And so what we'll talk about here are a few things that you can do in this section. Okay? You come up here, and usually everyone slides back to, it's kind of the melody of the tune. I guess it really is the melody of it, to slide that D back to a C, natural. Okay, so that's a D to a C, natural, down to an A, with a kind of a bluesy slide on from the C as well. Up, slightly back, down from the C, and land on an A. Okay, and then a very common thing you'll see is this little chromatic walk back here. Okay, so this is A against a F sharp, okay? And so all you're doing is you're keeping this same form, you're just moving this back at half steps, okay? So from here, A, I'm going to move all my fingers out of the way here just so you can see. So we got A against F sharp, then we move that back to where it's a G sharp against the F, move it back again, so that we're playing a G. Huh, landed on it. A G against an E. And then we move back finally and tighten up our form because we've got to play the D versus an F sharp. So we got to, pull this one back a whole step and then just move this one back a half step to move this from G to F sharp. Okay? And so in practice, it could be like this. And usually you can make a long hold there, kind of like a train blowing its whistle. It's like a, and then begin the walk. And you can even do it that kind of staccato thing, or just kind of that bouncy bow bounce thing. Okay, and then you can also pull that D down to the C natural. Okay, and then to Q. Everybody. This song has a international, but at least fiddle-wise, internationally understood Q, the same way that Orange Blossom does. But we'll talk about that later. But this one's Q is this lick here. Okay? And that's same, you're making a C against an A. So in this double stop, you're using the flattened 7 and the 5th note of the D scale. And remember, everybody's just chopping away here. They're going just holding that D. Okay? And against that, against that sound, with the guitar and the bass and everything, you're going to play these notes. You're going to play that kind of blue note. So you're going to play the C and the A, and you're going to blues it in. You can use these fingers. You can use your stay in first position here and play a C against the A like this and slide it in. Whoop. Okay? And then slide it back a half step. And it's kind of like a big truck horn, Can't really say. I said train whistle earlier. Shouldn't do that since this is the highway blues. But you'll say a truck horn. And then slide it back up to the same place you were in. So that's. And then go back up. And so that's a A versus a C. And then you just. So play that A and slide it down. And the next note after that slide is a slide up from around F natural, up to the F sharp. If you watched other videos, I'm sure this isn't a surprise. What are you doing? You're sliding. We're in D, and so you're at D, E, F sharp, G, A. A's the 5th, sliding down on the 5th, catching it on the 3rd, and sliding up into the 3rd is a very common bluesy thing. And then you can end like that to start the tune over. Just end on your D string, or you can you can catch your 3rd there like that with a D against an F sharp. That's better. So it'd be like. And then that's the cue, and everybody's waiting because then it goes back into the fiddly portion. Whoever's taking the next break, whatever's happening, there's somebody going to start going. Okay, and so that's the cue, and then somebody out there somewhere is going to start taking another break, and they'll kick back into that A part melody. Yeah, and do the whole thing. Yeah, you know, something like that. Whatever. And so that's the tune. One of the things you'll notice I'll talk about is kind of cool. Stuart Duncan, when he does this, he actually adds in the D note here with his voice, like so he's ain't that wild? Alrighty, folks, that's Lee Highway Blues. Thanks.